Hello Tubesters, it's Gav, and today I wanted to do a thank you video. I always say quick, and I still said it, but they never are. But you know that by now. Yeah, a thank you video. A couple of people, very kind people, have sent me a couple of things. First of all, a shout out to a good Mara of the channel, and that's Joe from Mad Genius Productions. He sent me a shop card. Thank you very much, really made my day, that did. It's always nice when something comes through the post, when you don't leave the room. It's nice to have connections that go farther than your garden or the end of your drive. So I'll put Joe's a link to Joe's channel. I often mention him in videos. Yes, I do get £50 a month for saying it, but no, he's a brilliant bloke, and he's all about making models, and it can be model cars, model aeroplanes, tanks, and as I keep saying it, he's going to venture into naval. I don't know when that will be, but he will do. Yeah, to paint a figure. The other guy who's always been really supportive of me in a load of ways, and that's Fredrik from the Hobby Shack. As you guys know, I'm making the Tiger tank. Well, I've made the Tiger tank, and I've more or less made the base. And I'd said that I'd been trying to make some shell casings, either completely formed shells or empty cartridge cases, shell cases. And just to put a few around the base, just to make it a bit more warlike. I didn't want to put bodies around or anything, or body parts, just to show there's been some action. It's obviously a bus stop buildings and the tank sitting there. And I tried different ways of putting a sprue in my Dremel and sanding it down to and I could sometimes just get a rough shape. My idea was I drilled the top slightly, not all the way down like these ones are, but put it in but it would either melt, literally the friction, even though I got it in quite low setting, I just couldn't get it to. It seems to the outward bit of a piece of sprue seems fine to be able to, as we would do, as we'd sand the model piece that's on the sprue, but the sprue's fine, and you seem to get to like a core, and then it just gets and just disintegrates. But I did try that, and I even tried some wood. I didn't have any tube, aluminium or metal tube that I could use, so try and just at least do the end and maybe fill the bottom. So Fredrik, he just said to me, "I'm sending a letter to you," and I just thought it was one of his usual cease and desist letters. Do not approach our country. Do not pester me on Facebook. But it wasn't. It was a letter, and he put these in, and these aren't cheap. These brass shell casings. So what I'm going to do is, whatever amount I use, I'm not going to use them all on the base, but I'm going to keep them loose, and obviously I'll just keep reusing those over. I'm a great recycler, and keep reusing them over and over again, rather than just for one dio. So I'm going to be priming these. I don't want to leave them in the natural state, I don't think, although they've got some like tarnish on them already. I'm going to actually spray these up and stain them and whatever. But that was fantastic. Again, to have that come through, really, it took ages, because Fredrik had messaged me just to say, he posted it, and obviously we've come out of the European Union, and things are taking longer. They'll all settle down, but even when it does settle down, things will probably take longer, going to and fro. So that was fantastic, and I wanted to say, it's not that like the material things. It's just the connections that you make with people, and obviously I've got obviously my head problems. I don't really see anybody, and to have connections of these guys and a lot of other people out there has been fantastic. You know, I keep in contact with old Tom, Mr. Rambler 69, obviously Greg Riley, Paul from Military Modeller Paul, just brilliant people. And you know, they check in on me and just send me little pictures of their models and stuff, and it's brilliant. It really keeps you going, you know, and not obviously going into huge. I'm sure Joe won't mention saying this. He said, "Oh, I wanted to send you a kit, but the price to send you a kit was just astronomical." You know, it was mind blowing, and it really annoys me because not only is it going to cost him a fortune when he gets here, we have to. Sometimes they get through, sometimes they don't. I remember when Victor, he was brilliant and sending me, "Oh, your Sherman's going to get built in the next few months, Victor. I've got a little idea for that." He sent me that, and it cost me 18 quid to get it out of the postage. It's a gift from a really good friend, a good marrow as I call him. I have to say friend in case people aren't watching it. And they're even wrecking that for us, you know. And I just think it's disgraceful that yes, we know that the Chinese companies will often put gift on to try and get it through the. Sorry, just keep that going. To get it through the post, the tax and that. Well, not anymore, because as Greg Riley's mentioned it on his now, I'll obviously try and recoup the money that we're hemorrhaging left, right and centre. The government's, you know, putting, which it should do, you know, that why should they in China get away with sending stuff to it? Yeah, I know we all want it, but other countries can't, you know, so it should be fair it should be there for everybody. It doesn't help us. But obviously with the COVID and how our country's on its knees financially now, you know, they're going to be putting every stealth tax going to raise revenues left, right and centre. But it really hurts that because I'm the same, there was a couple of things I wanted to send out. Now, I don't have a lot of, obviously, income coming in, and I can get to get the money together to get the thing that I want, but it's the postage. It's just ridiculous. We all know that obviously with COVID and all countries are shutting off borders and that, there aren't the holiday flights going, which they'll always shove extra mail in and stuff like that. So maybe that might be a reason, but I don't think so. As I say, when Victor sent me his stuff, that was before all this happened, and they still clobbered me with a massive handling charge. I think it was about £6 handling charge, never mind anything else. And it's wrong. And yet when Tom sent me something, it managed to get through, but that was just luck. That, you know, the post he actually said, because it came, you know, not long afterwards, he says, "Oh, this one's got through for you," without getting hauled in for a customs tariff on it. So it's not, as I say, it's not the you can say kits, whether it's kits, figures, whatever people send you, you know, and whether it's just come from the latest from Greg, because he's always propping me up. Great bloke. And he's in no position to do it. It's the thought with me. I just think it's fantastic that people, you know, I mean, Ian Aitken down in Wales, I mean, the stuff he's sent, but as I say, it's not the physical thing. It's the thought behind it. We always get told it's the thought of Christmas and all this type of stuff, you know, when you're kids. It's not the gift, it's the thought behind it and all the rest of it. And it is true. It's you know, simple little cards. It means a lot. You know, I've only got the two, but they'll go in a book with Tom's, and at the moment they're not mounted or anything. But I'm going to put them in like some type of book that you can open up and see them, because I haven't got anywhere I can put them, display them like a lot of the guys have in their proper workshops. Like so, yeah. It was really kind, and as I say, Fredrik to send me all that. I mean, that in itself, that'll keep me going over, and I'll just keep using those over and over again. You know, that's fantastic. Because as I say, when it comes to diodes, I find obviously it is restrictive because of you can go to town and buy this, that, and this, that, and this, that. So I do try and scratch build as much as I can, and I was perfectly willing to. I was really hoping I could go, ta-da! Look at these shell casings I've made, but no. Might be a way of doing it, but I've not found it yet. So on that tiger base, by the way, just finished painting the figures today, and although the little cart's primed, I've still got to start that. So we're not that far off. I've been saying this for a while, but we're not that far off now. The only thing I didn't do like a fool was when I was priming and spraying the other day. I completely forgot to prime and spray the stuff that's going in the cart. So we've been having some really cold temperatures, but it's now going to be. We're told it's going to be shooting up from like -3 till about 8, 9, 10, 11 over from Monday onwards. It's global warming, I suppose, but. Unfortunately, my wife's working from home Monday, so no compressor noises and no stench of lacquer. So the Chevy and the priming I've got of War Games figures that I'm doing for a commission, they're all waiting for Tuesday when the compressor will be working overtime. Anyway, this was supposed to be a thank you video, and it's as usual I've been rambling off tangent. But again, whether it's all the people, I'm not trying not to mention because there's loads of people that sent me stuff. Whether it's those people, whether it's just the kind words that are put on comments. There's some really supportive people out there, and not all of them have channels and that. They're just really nice people to put some good stuff down, and it really picks you up. As I say, not only with all the horrific stuff that's been going on let's face it, the last 2 years, last year and all this year. But just obviously with my own problems in here, it's I said before, a lot of people when I came out and said like, oh, I've got these head problems, a lot of people could have just turned around and walked away, and most people didn't. They just stuck it out with me, Greg, Tom, well, see, this is for Victor, Joe. You all know who you are. I've mentioned a few names there because they've just popped out when they shouldn't have done really, because there's just too many people to mention. But all of you that have put a kind word on a comment, it's really good of you. As I say, we're living in a time when you've seen the worst of it. Although we've seen heroic healthcare workers, care workers, we've and not just those, but all the guys in the shops, manning the shelves, the factories, all those that are shoulder to shoulder, the bus drivers, all those that can be overwhelmed by all this virus. They've just kept going in, and we're being consumed by it all at the moment. But eventually we're going to turn a corner and come out the other side. But throughout all this, they're all the good things, but we've also seen the idiots. The idiots were, we've seen the rich and famous going off on holidays and parties, but we've seen there's we all know people that have been doing exactly the same thing at our working class level. There's been no real difference. It's just that they're more noticeable. But what I'm saying is, for all the idiots out there, there's really, really, really good people that are just helping out each other at this tiny little level. As I said, with all my problems, a lot of these people say, "Oh, don't want to get involved," but they don't. They've just stood by me personally, and a card, it means a hell of a lot. Some brass shell casings. It's, but not just that. All the really good people that have put comments down, whether it's been when I've been, I've turned this into a bit of a, mental health stuff. I didn't mean to. I just meant to say, for all the idiots out there, they're swamped with the good people, but you never hear about the good people and you never see them. Yeah, fair enough. With the COVID, with the, as I say, the people we've mentioned battling away in hospitals and stuff. Yeah, but I just mean, at a really personal level, one-to-one, on YouTube, it's always used the word community, but it is You know, I always fought against it because I just said, oh, community, you know, it isn't, it's just a bunch of faceless people on YouTube. But it isn't, it's people, and I don't mean just networking behind the scenes, which a lot of these guys do with me now, but as I say, just the really nice people out there that pop a comment down and, you know, that's nice painting, Gav, or you know, the kind words as when I put my medal video up, you know. You had a big snotty nose, blubbering mess, but still people were kind enough to, you know, back me on that, you know, and the same with this modelling stuff. So to all the great people out there that don't turn their back on others, look at, and it doesn't have to be people with problems. You know, I've said it before. They're just looking out for each other. It's brilliant, you know. Long may it continue. So, thank you very much again to Joe. Thank you very much, Fredrik. Look after yourselves, everybody. As I keep doing the good works for other people, you know, in our little sphere. If you can help somebody out, help them out. You know, or put a good comment. You know, say when I don't know, it doesn't have to be cards or things, gifts or whatever. You know, just if you see somebody's video and you've enjoyed it, rather than just go, oh yeah, that was all right, you know, or I'm watching it on my TV, say, no, I'm going to put a comment on that person's video. They've been, you know, let's give them a lift. It'll make somebody's day. So look after yourselves, and probably it will be the next video up, or 2 videos. I'm thinking of doing that Puma unboxing, and which is a World War. No, it isn't. That's talking to James on a comment. It's a modern German army, like the Warrior or the Bradley. It's the German army, the latest German army version, and we'll have a look at these figures I've painted. The Chevy, I may well get a video up as well later on in the week, because I'm doing this because it's over there. I'm putting the black on the Chevy. Whether then, yeah, I'll do the black, and I've got some like seat texture material. It's not material, it's paint, but like, you know, textured paints to put on the seat, and the door cards, as I call them, on the side. So that might be done. Might even have the wooden deck done in the back, but let's not hold our breath. But that's inching, hopefully now, that'll be inching towards the end, and then I'll be giving it a lacquer cover, I think it is, once it's all put together. A lacquer cover and a polish. That's what I was trying to be doing. This is me polishing. So that'll be coming up as well soon as well. And then I also, what are we doing? Final reveal, probably the following week, of the Tiger base. It's all, the Tiger's already done, but the base and everything. And then I better hold the box up for the T34. I think you have to do a look at me box or something like that. Doesn't sound too good. Look at the box for the T34, and we'll be doing an intro into that. And hopefully as well, my figures I ordered from Empress Miniatures and Perry Miniatures will have arrived, and we'll have a look at those probably on a video as well. So actually there's a fair bit coming up. Better get my skates on. Take care of yourselves, guys. Thank you for everything that everybody does for each other out there, and this is me thanking for people that have helped other people, because you are beautiful people and you're decent, kind people, and I just want to keep thanking you all. So I'll keep shouting people out, and this is my way of giving back, thanking people. I do the video shouts, and I'll probably shout sometimes the same people 3 or 4 times in a year. I don't care. If it helps them, if it gets them some subs and helps them along, then great, because that's me doing something as well. So long may it continue. You keep looking after each other, and we'll see each other very soon on another video.